What if I told you that the single most important moment of your entire day is not when you close the biggest deal, not when you hit the gym, not even when you go to sleep? It happens in the first 5 seconds after your alarm goes off. Those 5 seconds, the moment you either hit snooze and go back to sleep or rise with purpose, those 5 seconds are quietly deciding the quality of your entire life. Here's a question most people never ask themselves. Why did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up because you genuinely wanted to, or because you had to? If you're being honest with yourself, the answer is probably the second one. And that one answer reveals everything about why so many people feel stuck, unfulfilled, and like life is constantly passing them by. Today, we are going deep into one of the most practical, life-changing books ever written, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. This is not a motivational speech. This is a step-by-step system that has transformed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people around the world. People who lost weight, doubled their income, overcame depression, built businesses, and completely rewired their identities, all before 8 a.m. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to walk away with a complete morning system you can start tomorrow. Before we get into this, if you're new here, welcome to Millionaire Playbook. This channel is not about theory or fluff. Everything we cover here is designed to be implemented, not just watched. If you want to level up your life in business, mindset, and daily execution, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this. Now, let us get into the book. Section 1. Hal Elrod's Story, The Origin. Every great book has a story behind it, and this one starts with something almost unimaginable. On December 3, 1999, 20-year-old Hal Elrod was driving at 70 miles per hour when a drunk driver hit him head-on. A second car crashed into his door at 70 miles per hour. Hal suffered 11 fractured bones, permanent brain damage, and a broken femur that pierced through his skin. His heart stopped. He was clinically dead for 6 minutes. He woke up from a coma to be told he might never walk again. Most people would spend the rest of their life defined by that tragedy. Hal did not. He walked out of that hospital 7 weeks later, went back to work, and became one of the top sales performers in his company. But then came his second rock bottom, and Hal says this one was harder than dying. It was 2008. The economy crashed overnight. His income was cut in half. He was $425,000 in debt. He could not pay his mortgage. He was deeply depressed, barely able to get out of bed. One day, out of desperation, a friend told him to go for a run. Hal hated running, but he laced up his sneakers and went anyway. And on that run, listening to a personal development audio, he heard a line from Jim Rohn that stopped him in his tracks. Jim said, "Your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become." That sentence hit Hal like a tidal wave. He realized he had been wanting level 10 success, but investing almost zero time in becoming a level 10 person. He ran home and started designing what would become the Miracle Morning. Within 2 months, his income was higher than ever before. He called it a miracle, and the name stuck. Section 2. The 95% Reality Check. Before Hal gives you the solution, he forces you to look at a very uncomfortable truth. According to the Social Security Administration, if you take 100 people at the start of their working careers and follow them for 40 years, by the time they reach retirement, only 1 will be truly wealthy, 4 will be financially secure, 5 will still be working just to survive, 36 will be dead, and 54, more than half, will be completely broke, dependent on family, the government, or charity to survive. That's 95% of people ending up with far less than they hoped for. This is what Hal calls the 95% reality check. And the most chilling part is this: none of those people planned to end up that way. They didn't wake up at 22 years old and say, I want to be broke at 65. They just never made a firm, committed decision to do things differently. Hal identifies 6 main causes of this mediocrity. The first is rear-view mirror syndrome. This is when you unconsciously let your past define what you believe is possible for your future. You make decisions today based on who you were yesterday. If you failed before, your brain assumes you'll fail again. If you've never earned a certain amount of money, your subconscious tells you you can't. The rearview mirror keeps you stuck in a version of yourself that no longer has to be real. The second cause is a lack of purpose. The average person has no compelling reason to wake up in the morning beyond survival. When you live without a deep why, every obstacle becomes a reason to quit. The third cause is isolating incidents. This is when you convince yourself that one small bad decision doesn't matter. Skipping one workout, eating badly just today, hitting snooze just this once. But Hal argues that every single action is programming who you're becoming. Every time you choose the easy thing over the right thing, you're training yourself to be the kind of person who does that. Every time you choose discipline, you're building the identity of a disciplined person. The fourth cause is a lack of accountability. Without someone or something holding us accountable, we default to comfort. The fifth is mediocre circle of influence. Research consistently shows that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is not growing, neither are you. The sixth and most powerful cause is lack of personal development. You can't attract a level 10 life if you're operating as a level 3 person. It's not about luck or opportunity. It's about the person you're becoming daily. The solution to all 6 of these causes is the same thing, the miracle morning. Section 3. Why mornings matter, the science of your first hour. Here's something most people never think about. Your morning routine is either the most powerful tool you have or the biggest anchor dragging you down. Hal explains that how you spend the first hour of your day sets the tone, the context, and the energy for everything that follows. A chaotic, reactive morning creates a chaotic, reactive day. A focused, intentional morning creates focused, intentional results. Think about it from a different angle. When you hit the snooze button, what are you actually doing? You're literally telling your subconscious, I don't want to face my life. I'd rather stay unconscious. Every time you do this, you're reinforcing an identity, the identity of someone who gives up at the first sign of resistance. On the other hand, when you rise with purpose and intention, you're sending a completely different signal. You're telling your mind and body that today matters, that you matter. Hal also tackles the belief that you need a specific number of hours of sleep. Through his own experimentation, he discovered something controversial but powerful. How you feel in the morning is more determined by the intention you set before bed than by the exact number of hours you slept. When you go to bed telling yourself you're going to feel exhausted, you wake up exhausted, regardless of how many hours you slept. But when you set a conscious intention to wake up refreshed and energized, your body follows that belief. Try it tonight. Section 4. The 5-step snooze-proof wake-up strategy. Here's something practical for every person who struggles to wake up early. Hal created a 5-step system to take you from half asleep at 1 out of 10 motivation level all the way to a 5 or a 6, which is enough to keep you awake and moving. Step 1. Set your intentions before bed. Your first thought in the morning is almost always the last thought you had before sleeping. So the night before, consciously choose to feel excited about the next morning. Think about what you'll do, why it matters, and go to sleep with anticipation instead of dread. Step 2. Move your alarm clock across the room. This sounds simple, but it's powerful. The moment you have to physically get out of bed to turn off the alarm, your body starts moving. Motion creates energy. You're already 2 steps ahead. Step 3. Brush your teeth immediately. Don't go back to the bed area. Go straight to the sink. The act of freshening up and splashing water on your face signals to your brain that the sleep phase is over. Step 4. Drink a full glass of water. After 6 to 8 hours without water, you're mildly dehydrated. Dehydration causes fatigue. Rehydrating first thing in the morning gives you a natural energy boost that is often more effective than reaching for coffee. Step 5. Get dressed or jump in the shower. By this point, your motivation level is high enough to start your miracle morning. The battle is already won. Follow these 5 steps every morning for the next 30 days and watch how different mornings start to feel. Section 5. The Life Savers, the Core System. This is the heart of the book. The Life Savers is an acronym representing 6 personal development practices that Hal combines every morning. Each one targets a different dimension of who you are: your mind, your body, your beliefs, and your spirit. Together, they create a complete daily upgrade. Let's go through each one in depth. S. Silence. The first S stands for silence, and this is not passive silence. This is purposeful, intentional silence. We live in one of the noisiest, most distracted eras in human history. Most people wake up and immediately reach for their phone. They flood their mind with news, social media, notifications, all before they have even had a clear thought of their own. This is mental pollution at the start of the day. Silence does the opposite. It clears the mental clutter, reduces stress hormones, and creates space for your best thinking to emerge. Hal recommends starting with 5 minutes of silence each morning. This can take several forms. Meditation, where you focus on your breath and allow thoughts to pass without engaging them. Simply sit upright, breathe slowly, and let your mind settle like a snow globe after you stop shaking it. Prayer. If you're spiritual, use this time to connect with your higher power, express gratitude, and ask for guidance. Reflection. Sit quietly and think deeply about what matters most, what you're grateful for, or what you want to create that day. Deep breathing. Long, slow breaths trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm, relaxed mode of your body. Hal is honest that when he first started meditating, he was terrible at it. His mind raced constantly, but he stayed with it. After 3 to 4 weeks, something shifted. The practice became one of the most powerful and peaceful parts of his day. The key lesson here: silence is not about achieving a blank mind. It's about creating a habit of meeting yourself before the world meets you. A. Affirmations. The A stands for affirmations, and before you roll your eyes, hear Hal out, because this section changes how you understand the mind. Every single one of us has a constant internal dialogue running in the background. Most of it is unconscious. Most of it is negative. Most of it is a replay of past failures, past fears, and past limitations. Affirmations are simply a way to take control of that internal dialogue and redirect it toward who you want to become. Research suggests that around 80% of the average person's self-talk is negative. That means your brain is spending most of its time talking you out of your potential. Affirmations reprogram that. Here's how Hal structures powerful affirmations in 5 steps. Step 1. Write down what you really want. Be specific. Not just, "I want to be healthy." Write what your ideal health looks like in detail. Step 2. Write down why you want it. The deeper your why, the more emotional fuel your affirmation has. A shallow why produces shallow commitment. Step 3. Write down who you are committed to being to achieve it. Affirmations are not just about what you want, they're about who you need to become. Step 4. Write down the specific actions you are committed to taking. Your affirmation should include what you will do daily, how often, and for how long. Step 5. Add quotes and philosophies that inspire you. Fill your affirmations with the wisdom of people who have already achieved what you want. Read your affirmations out loud every single morning. Over time, these words stop being something you say and start being something you believe. And once you believe them, your behavior begins to match. Hal used affirmations to repair his memory after his brain injury. Within 2 months of daily repetition, his short-term memory, which had been severely damaged, began to improve. That's not magic. That's neuroplasticity. The brain changes based on where you direct your focus. V. Visualization. The V stands for visualization, and this is one of the most well-documented performance tools in the world. Elite athletes use it. Tiger Woods famously visualized every single golf shot in his mind before swinging. Jack Nicklaus said he never hit a shot without first seeing a sharp mental picture of it. Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $10 million in 1987, visualized it daily for years, and in 1994 was paid exactly that for a single film role. Visualization works because your brain does not distinguish perfectly between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you see yourself succeeding clearly and emotionally in your mind, your brain begins building the neural pathways for that success. Here's Hal's 3-step visualization practice. Step 1. Get comfortable, close your eyes, and take slow, deep breaths. Step 2. Visualize what you really want. See it in vivid detail. Involve all 5 senses. Where are you? What does it feel like? What sounds do you hear? What does success look, smell, and taste like? The more real you make it in your mind, the more real your motivation becomes. Step 3. Visualize who you need to be and what actions you need to take to get there. See yourself exercising with discipline. See yourself making the calls, sending the emails, doing the work, and enjoying it. Spend 5 minutes on this each morning, and you'll find yourself naturally moving toward your vision throughout the day, even without consciously trying. E. Exercise. The E stands for exercise, and this one needs no complicated explanation. The science is overwhelming. Morning exercise increases energy, improves mental clarity, boosts mood through endorphins, strengthens your immune system, and builds the discipline muscle that spills over into every other area of your life. Hal's key insight is this: when you exercise in the morning, you do it before your day has a chance to drain you, before the meetings, the problems, the stress, the excuses. The morning is the only time that truly belongs to you before the world claims it. You don't need a 2-hour session. Even 10 to 20 minutes of movement, whether that's yoga, push-ups, jumping jacks, a brisk walk, or a short run, is enough to fundamentally change your energy for the rest of the day. Hal's personal favorite is yoga. He describes it as a complete form of exercise that combines stretching, strength, cardio, breath control, and even meditation. But the key is to choose something you can do consistently, not something that impresses other people. The real point is this: you're not just exercising your body in the morning, you're exercising your self-discipline. Every morning you get up and move your body when you didn't have to, you're proving to yourself that you're someone who follows through. That identity compounds over time into extraordinary results. R. Reading. The R stands for reading, and Hal makes a powerful point here. The fastest way to achieve what you want is to learn from people who have already done it. Every expert who has ever mastered anything left behind a trail of knowledge in books. You have access to decades of hard-won wisdom for less than $20. There's never been a better time to invest in your mind. Hal's recommendation is simple. Read a minimum of 10 pages of a personal development book every day. 10 pages per day equals roughly 3,650 pages per year. At an average of 200 books per book, that's approximately 18 books of high-quality knowledge in a single year. Imagine the person you would become after absorbing that much wisdom from the most successful minds in history. A few specific reading habits that accelerate your growth. Always read with a purpose. Before you open a book, ask yourself what you want to gain from it. What problem are you trying to solve? Mark your books. Underline, circle, take notes in the margins. This forces you to engage actively rather than passively absorb words. Reread powerful books. Mastery comes from repetition. Reading a great book twice extracts 10 times more value than reading it once. Reading is not just about gathering information, it's about becoming someone who thinks differently, who sees more options, who responds to challenges with knowledge instead of fear. S. Scribing. The final S stands for scribing, which is simply journaling. Most people know journaling is powerful, but never actually do it consistently. Hal was the same way before the miracle morning. He would buy a beautiful journal, write in it for 2 days, and then let it collect dust on a shelf. The miracle morning solved that. By making journaling a non-negotiable 5 to 10 minutes of every morning, it became a habit instead of an intention. Here's why journaling is so powerful. Writing forces clarity. When a thought is in your head, it's fuzzy and emotional. When you put it on paper, you're forced to organize it into something concrete. Problems that seemed overwhelming in your mind often shrink dramatically when you write them out. Journaling captures ideas that would otherwise disappear. Research suggests that creative insights have a very short lifespan in the mind. If you don't write them down, they're gone. Reviewing your journal creates accelerated growth. Hal describes a ritual he does at the end of every year, going back through his entire journal, entry by entry. He calls it a back-to-the-future moment. He gets to see how far he has come, relive the lessons he learned, and recommit to the insights he had forgotten. A powerful journaling structure Hal recommends. Write what you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your brain out of scarcity mode and into abundance mode almost instantly. Acknowledge what you accomplished. High achievers tend to obsess over what they haven't done yet. Celebrating what you have done builds momentum. Identify what you want to improve. Honest self-reflection without harsh self-judgment. Clarify what actions you are committed to taking that day. This creates a daily contract with yourself. Section 6, the 6-minute miracle for the busiest people. Here's the objection that most people will have.
I do not have time. Hal's answer is the 6-minute miracle. This is the minimum viable version of the full miracle morning, designed for those days when life is overwhelming or when you are just starting out. 1 minute of silence, 1 minute of reading your affirmations, 1 minute of visualization, 1 minute of journaling in your scribing, 1 minute of reading, 1 minute of exercise. 6 minutes, that is it. 6 minutes that touch every dimension of your development, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Hal does not recommend this as your permanent routine, but he offers it as proof that you have absolutely no excuse not to do something meaningful every morning, no matter how busy you are. 6 minutes is not about perfect optimization. It is about showing up for yourself. Section 7. The Habit Framework. 30 days from unbearable to unstoppable. Here's the part of the book that most people skip, and it is arguably the most important. Good intentions fail because people do not understand how habits actually form. They try something for a week, feel like it's not working, and quit. Then they conclude they're just not disciplined people. Hal breaks the habit formation process into 3 distinct 10-day phases, and once you understand these phases, you'll never quit on a new habit again. Phase 1, days 1 to 10, unbearable. The first 10 days of any new habit feel awful. Your mind resists, your body rebels, everything in you wants to go back to the familiar and comfortable. This is biologically normal. Your brain is wired to conserve energy and prefer the known. Most people experience this discomfort and conclude that the new habit is not for them. They don't realize they're experiencing a universal biological response to change, not a personal failure. When you know this phase is coming, you can push through it. You can say, this discomfort is temporary, and it is the price of growth. Phase 2, days 11 to 20, uncomfortable. By day 11, the initial shock wears off. The habit starts to feel slightly more natural. You still need discipline to follow through, but the resistance is not as overwhelming. You are building confidence. This phase requires consistency. Don't ease up just because it's getting slightly easier. Phase 3, days 21 to 30, unstoppable. This is where the transformation happens. Most experts say it takes 21 days to form a habit. Hal says they're right, but incomplete.
The 21st through 30th days are when the habit gets reinforced with positive emotions and becomes part of your identity. You stop being someone who is trying to wake up early. You become a morning person. You stop being someone trying to read. You become a reader. You stop being someone trying to exercise. You become someone who exercises. The identity shift is everything, because once your actions match your identity, maintaining the habit requires almost no willpower. It just becomes who you are. Hal used this framework to go from never running in his life to completing a 52-mile ultra-marathon in just over 6 months, step by step, one day at a time. Section 8. Customizing your miracle morning. One size does not fit all, and Hal knows this. Your miracle morning should be tailored to your schedule, your goals, and your life. If you're not a morning person in the traditional sense, maybe you work nights, you can still apply this concept by waking up 1 hour earlier than you normally would, whatever time that is. The core principle is dedicated, protected, uninterrupted time to your personal development before the demands of your day take over. If 60 minutes feels impossible right now, start with 20 minutes. If even that seems like too much, start with 6. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Align your miracle morning directly with your specific goals. If you're building a business, use your reading time to study business strategy. Write affirmations specifically around your entrepreneurial identity. Visualize yourself executing your work with focus and energy. If you're working on your health, visualize the body you are building. Read books on nutrition and fitness. Write affirmations that reinforce your identity as someone who takes care of their body. The structure stays the same. The content becomes yours. Section 9. The 30-Day Life Transformation Challenge. Hal ends the book with a simple but powerful challenge. Commit to 30 days of the miracle morning. Not a lifetime, not a year, just 30 days. Use the 3-phase habit framework you just learned. Expect the first 10 days to feel hard. Push through. Expect days 11 to 20 to feel uncomfortable but doable. Stay consistent. And by days 21 through 30, you'll start to feel the momentum and the identity shift taking hold. The 30-day challenge is not just about building a morning routine. It's about proving to yourself that you can commit to something difficult and follow through. That proof, that evidence of your own discipline becomes the foundation for every other positive change in your life. Section 10. Key Mindset Shifts from the book. Before we close, here are the 5 most powerful mindset shifts this book will give you. First, your past does not equal your future. Where you are right now is only a result of who you were. Who you become from this moment forward is entirely up to you. The rearview mirror is not a map. Second, you can't attract a level 10 life with a level 3 version of yourself. Success is not something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming. Invest in yourself first, and the results will follow. Third, every small action is programming your identity. Hitting snooze is not just about sleep, it's training your subconscious to give up when things get hard. Rising with purpose is not just about productivity, it's training yourself to be someone who follows through. Fourth, mediocrity is a choice, and so is greatness. Most people default to mediocrity without ever consciously choosing it. Choosing differently requires a daily decision made every single morning. Fifth, the morning is the most powerful leverage point in your entire day. Win the morning and you dramatically increase the probability of winning the day. Section 11. Your immediate action plan. Start tomorrow. Tonight, set your alarm 30 to 60 minutes earlier than usual. Move it across the room. Fill a glass of water and set it nearby. Before you sleep, set a clear intention. Tomorrow morning, I am going to wake up with purpose. Tell yourself you'll feel energized when that alarm goes off. Tomorrow morning, follow the 5-step snooze-proof strategy. Get up, brush your teeth, drink your water, get dressed, begin. Spend your first morning doing the 6-minute version of the Life SAVRS. 1 minute each. Silence, affirmations, visualization, scribing, reading, and exercise. Do this again the next morning and the one after that. After 1 week, expand each activity to 5 minutes. After 2 weeks, expand to 10 minutes. By day 30, you'll have built a morning routine that develops you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually every single day. Section 12. Powerful recap and close. Let me give you the full picture in just a few sentences. The miracle morning is built on one core truth. Who you are becoming each day determines the quality of your life. Most people spend their mornings in reactive mode, surviving, rushing, scrolling. They give their best hours to everything except themselves. The miracle morning flips that. It says, give yourself 1 hour before the world gets you. Use that hour to become the person who can create the life you actually want. The Life SAVRS are your tools: silence to calm your mind, affirmations to program your beliefs, visualization to expand your possibilities, exercise to energize your body, reading to grow your knowledge, scribing to track your growth. 30 days is all it takes to go from unbearable to unstoppable. And it all starts with one decision. Tomorrow morning, you don't hit snooze. If this breakdown added value to your life, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And if you're ready to go deeper on books like this, books that actually change the way you think and live, make sure you subscribe to Millionaire Playbook. We break down the most powerful books on money, mindset, business, and life, and we go deep so you can implement, not just consume. Your transformation starts tomorrow morning. Now, go set your alarm.